going on, everybody? Hello, my loves. I'm laughing because it's still Mercury retrograde. And of course, there's always going to be some sort of technical glitch. Things are not going to go as planned. I've learned to roll with the punches, but it's always so funny to me. In any event, hello, my loves, and welcome to another edition of the weekly Astro Forecast here in the Astro Room live on YouTube. I am your host and your favorite astrologer, Mel of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So, if this is our first time meeting, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So, this channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So, if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, my love. So, this is going to be the weekly astro forecast for the week of September 11th through 17th, 2023. All right, my loves. So, before we get into the details, of course, some housekeeping and some announcements. So, if you are joining me here on the live this evening, thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Feel free to say hi on your way in and hit that like button as well. All right. And if you are joining me on the replay, I appreciate you just as much. Hopefully, you find value in tonight's broadcast. And if you do, if you would be so kind as to hit that like button, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. In terms of announcements, it is my birthday week. So, Wednesday, September 13th, is my birthday. And to celebrate, I will be doing two things. Number one, I will be doing a flash sale, or I will be conducting a flash sale on all of my astrology reports. Now, it's going to be a surprise as to how much this sale percentage is going to be. However, all day on Wednesday is the day that you're going to want to book a natal chart report, progress natal chart report, because it's going to be on a crazy sale for one day only on my birthday, September 13th. All right, so that's the first thing. And the second thing is that I'm going to be introducing a new report, which will be pretty interesting. So if you are someone who is into numerology and you kind of want to know what all of your numbers are about, I will now be offering my numerology report service. All right, and all of that information will be on the website. I will put the link to that in the description box below. But those are the two things that are going down on my birthday. I'm very excited for my special day, which is on Wednesday. All right, and if you feel so inclined as to gift your girl a little something or support the channel, the links and all of that information will be in the description box below. All right. What's going on, Philip Boone? Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight. All right. So this week, before we get into this week, let's talk a little bit about last week. So last week we had some pretty fortunate energy. If you don't remember the astrology from last week, or you didn't get a chance to check it out, you should definitely check out last week's live where I talked all about the astrology for last week. We had some pretty fortunate energy. A lot of things were starting to come together. Okay. Now, what's interesting is that because we're still in the midst of this retrograde season, where as of last week we had 7 planets retrograde. So things are sort of moving behind the scenes, or things are sort of moving a lot more slowly than we would like because everything is in retrograde. You know, like I mentioned last week, retrograde is all about being intentional. It's about slowing down and really thinking about what you're doing, reflecting on a lot of things, right? So there may be a lot of things in the works, but they just haven't materialized yet. Like, I know for me personally, in terms of business, there have been so many inquiries, there have been so many different things going on, but they haven't quite popped off yet. And that's definitely evident of this retrograde energy. However, this week, we're going to feel a significant shift because we've got Mercury going direct. All right. So we had Venus and Mercury that were both retrograde, right? Venus was retrograde for most of the summer. Mercury was retrograde since last month. And so with Venus and Mercury being personal planets, those retrogrades we feel very intensely because these are the planets that are closest to the earth. So in terms of money, in terms of love, in terms of communication, in terms of learning, all of these things have been a little stifled because of this retrograde energy. Now, Venus very recently on September 3rd went direct, right? So now we can take that off of the retrograde list. And then this week we've got Mercury going direct, so we can take that off of the retrograde list as well. And this is significant because, again, being personal planets and with us being able to feel this energy so intensely, we're going to start to see things start. We're going to begin to see things starting to move forward, right? You may have already noticed it a little bit with Venus having gone retrograde, I guess, like a week and some change ago. And now Mercury is going to join that new direct list. And so all of the Mercury retrograde mayhem, all of the miscommunication, all of that is going to subside. And we're going to be able to get back to our regularly scheduled programs, right? The other big thing we've got going on this week is that we have a powerful new moon in Virgo, okay? And this new moon, new moons are all about new beginnings, but this particular new moon is going to feel like a breath of fresh air. The energy surrounding this new moon is quite frankly pretty beautiful, and it really allows us to start fresh in a very practical sort of way, all right? And apart from that, we don't have too much else going on this week. We're still sort of riding the wave of that positive and fortuitous energy that we had last week into this week. So enjoy it, because next week is looking a little different. Nothing too crazy, but not as fortuitous as these last 2 weeks have been. All right. So before we get into the details of this week, first and foremost, if you are someone that is interested in your horoscope, but you don't like what you're seeing online, or you just can't find anything, consider subscribing to my text service where you can get your weekly horoscope texted to you every Monday morning. All right. And if you are interested, you will want to text the word ZODIAC to the number 855-826-5544. And I'll leave that information in the description box below. It's short, sweet, to the point. People seem to really like it. They think it's very accurate, and you get it once a week. Plus, you'll be part of our Astro community where you will get different curated information based on your sun sign or your rising sign or whichever sign that you want information for. All right. And so to reiterate, you will want to text the word ZODIAC to 855-826-5544. And again, in the description box below. All right. And if you are someone who is new to astrology and you have no idea what's going on, like you're hearing all of these terms and you're like, what is this? Like you're interested, but you're like, I have no idea what's going on. Or you are someone who is not so new to astrology, but you're realizing that it's a lot of information. And so maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you're like, I can't get everything straight in my mind. Don't worry, I've got you covered. So I created this thing called the Astrology Basics Cheat Sheet, which is essentially a quick and dirty overview on the 4 pillars of astrology. And these 4 pillars of astrology are the baseline things that you need to know in order to start learning astrology. And those pillars are the zodiac signs, the houses, the planets, and the aspects. So it's an 11-page PDF document that gives you a quick summary on all of this. It's actually really cute, right? So it allows you to have an overview of everything so you can start studying all of this and committing it to memory, because regardless of what anyone says or doesn't say, astrology is indeed a science. And like any science, it requires a good deal of study. So I created this cheat sheet to help you start studying. So if you are interested, the link to that will be in the description box below. All you need to do is drop your email address and you will be good to go. All right. All right. So yeah. So again, there isn't that much going on this week. Like I said before, we're still sort of riding the wave of some of that fortuitous energy. Now don't think that just because, I guess when I say fortuitous energy and that last week was pretty good astrologically speaking, I get the sense that maybe you're thinking, well, I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. Life has been like whatever. I haven't really been experiencing anything mind-blowing or super positive. Again, keep in mind that we still have a lot of planets that are retrograde. So things are delayed. Things are a bit slower to get to you. But remember, there is always movement, even if you're not seeing it, even if it's not in your reality, even if it hasn't manifested yet, movement is still going on. Right. And things are going to start to come alive. Things are going to start to come to fruition slowly but surely. So one of the things that retrograde season always teaches us is patience. And I don't know about you, but that's sometimes a very difficult lesson for me to master. But this retrograde season is really putting us to task, because with all of this retrograde energy, we are really being urged to be patient and to really just allow the universe to let things unfold as they are going to unfold. Okay. But in any event, we're going to be feeling that shift in energy this week. So it's going to be a pretty good week nonetheless. All right. So let's take a look at the highlights and see what we got going on for this week. So first up, we have what I like to call new moon, new life. And of course, this is the new moon in Virgo, which is going down on Thursday. So this is going to be like a breath of fresh air because it's going to coincide with Mercury going direct in the sign of Virgo. We're going to have this feeling of newness. We're going to have this feeling of, okay, things are sort of back to normal. And with this new moon going down in a sign like Virgo, it's all about practicality. It's all about organization, and it's all about being of service. So this is really one of those new moons where you can get your life in order in a very practical sort of way. Now, Virgo energy isn't necessarily like pie in the sky, your biggest manifestations, but it is like, okay, this is what I need in my life. How can I get this? How can I make this happen? How can I work toward this, right? And this new moon is perfect for setting those kind of intentions. So it's also going to be about getting healthy. Virgo, it has a lot to do with our physical health, not even our physical health, but maybe our mental health and probably our emotional health as well. So when it comes to getting healthy, if this is something that you desire, if this is a new adventure that you'd like to embark upon, you're going to want to set those intentions at this particular new moon. And then finally, it's also going to be about taking practical action steps. Virgo is all about service. It's all about work. It's all about organization and efficiency. So this is going to be one of those new moon periods where it's not like you just wish it into existence. This is about setting your mind right, okay? Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury, which has everything to do with our thoughts, right? So you're going to be setting your mind right, but you're also going to be taking practical action steps, okay? Then next, we have what I like to call back to reality. And this is Mercury going direct in the sign of Virgo, right? So things are going to start to get back to normal. You're not going to have as many electronics mishaps. There aren't going to be so many delays in transportation and things such as that. And it's a time where we can really, so everything having to do with retrograde has to do with the re's, right? So it's remembering, reflecting, reminiscing, right? So definitely over the summer, let's say, especially since Venus has been retrograde for pretty much all summer, we've been doing a lot of reflecting. And I feel like this new moon in Virgo, coupled with Mercury going direct basically around the same time, it allows us to put the lessons that we've reflected upon and the information that we've been remembering to immediate use at the new moon. Okay, so this is about getting back to normal. This is reflecting on retrograde lessons and finally being able to move forward, even if not practically like in action steps quite yet. At least our minds, we can sort of get our minds right so we can move forward in the right direction. Okay. And then last but not least, we have what I like to call surprise. And this is going to be the Sun trine Uranus, which is one of the major transits going on this week. And Sun trine Uranus is good, right? I know sometimes people get a little apprehensive when they hear the word surprise, right? Especially when we're talking about Uranus. Uranus is all about expecting the unexpected. And with Sun trine Uranus, you should expect the unexpected, however, in a good way. This is all about eye-opening situations. It's about enlightenment. It could be about discovering things about yourself, perhaps, that you haven't discovered before or that have been laying dormant within you. It's flashes of insight. It's aha moments. Like, it can be a really good, enlightening, eye-opening transit. And that's exactly what it's going to be this week. All right. So good surprises, nothing too crazy. All right. Let's take a look at the week and see exactly what we've got going on. So as you can see, not much going on this week, right? So on Wednesday, we have the moon moving into Virgo, right? Whereby on Thursday, we will have the new moon in Virgo, which will signify the beginning of the lunar cycle, okay? Then on Friday is our busiest astrological day. We've got Mercury going direct in Virgo. We've got Sun trine Uranus, like I just mentioned before, and we have the moon moving into Libra. And then finally, we close out the week on Sunday with Venus square Jupiter. Again, nothing too crazy this week. All right. So without further ado, let's jump in and see what we got going on. All right. So on Wednesday, we have the moon moving into Virgo. Okay. So it's not going to be the new moon yet. The moon is still going to be in the waning phase, but it's going to make its way into Virgo, whereby on Thursday, it will be the new moon in Virgo. All right. So at the bottom of the chart in the red circle, you'll see that brown moon at 0 degrees Virgo. That's exactly what's going on Wednesday. All right. So when the moon is in Virgo, we take a practical approach to life. Okay. Virgo energy is a little less than sexy. And as a Virgo sun, I can say this and I can own up to the fact that Virgo energy, it's not like Leo that's like flashy and out there. It's not like Pisces that's like ethereal and dreamy. Virgo is very real. Virgo is all about your day-to-day activities. It's about cleaning up, it's about organization, it's about efficiency, and it's about being of service. Everything about Virgo really has a lot to do with mundane tasks because Virgo is all about perfection. It's about sort of doing the same thing repeatedly and getting better each time you do it. All right. Definitely not sexy energy, but necessary. Okay. And so when the moon is in Virgo, it's cleanup time. This is when we declutter. This is when we make sense of our lives, right? Virgo is also about analyzing. And the moon has everything to do with our emotions. So whenever the moon is in Virgo, we tend to be a little more analytical as opposed to emotional. So whatever we feel, we tend to want to process in our minds. Virgo allows us to compartmentalize things, make sense of things, put things in neat little boxes so that we understand it and so that it's not cluttered. And so when the moon is waning, right, because on Wednesday the moon will still be in the waning phase, this is the perfect time to declutter, like perhaps literally, right? It's the end of the summer season. This may be the time when you want to change your closet, right? When you want to start putting away your summer clothes and bringing out your fall clothes. You may want to start cleaning up because, during the summertime, you don't want to do anything, right? Like cleaning up is like whatever. You're always trying to have fun, be out and about. But now we're sort of reining things in. We're not, it's less hours of daylight, right? So we're starting to put certain things away. Maybe you're starting to get out your fall stuff and your fall decorations. And I already see people decorating for Halloween. So you already know how that goes. But whenever the waning moon is in Virgo, we love to clean up. We love to get efficient. We love to perhaps put a focus on our health, right? Because Virgo is very much health conscious. We like to just get things in order. Even if you're not getting your physical space in order, you may just want to get your mind right. You may just want to, figure out what all of that shit in your head is all about, right? Like Virgo energy is great for that, okay? It's also about reflection. And as if we haven't had enough opportunity for reflection with all of this retrograde energy, but when the waning moon is in Virgo, it's all about analysis. It's all about reflection. It's reflecting on the past, your past thoughts, your past actions, your past experiences. And it's like you're starting to make room for newness, right? Because literally the new moon in Virgo is fresh. It's on the heels of this waning moon in Virgo. So this is about making space for new intentions, right? And the example I always give is, you want to go shopping. You want a whole new wardrobe, but you maybe don't have room for it in your closet. It's really time to go through your closet and see what you can keep, what you don't want anymore, what you can donate. It's time to get rid of the clutter. And Virgo loves to do this. So it's a great opportunity to prepare yourself to set new intentions and to receive new things. All right. So keep that in mind. And on a more mundane level, whenever the moon is in Virgo, mental pursuits, work activities, sticking to a routine, these are the things that give us emotional satisfaction. So every month, right, it takes the moon to go through every sign of the zodiac. It takes 28 days. Okay. So every month you have the opportunity to clean up when the moon is in Virgo. And that's exactly what you're going to be doing on Wednesday into Thursday. All right. So let's move on to the next thing. All right, so on Thursday, the next thing is going to be the new moon in Virgo, and you will see the sun and the moon are both going to be at 21 degrees of Virgo, okay? You'll see that at the right-hand portion of the chart. All right. So in terms of the new moon in Virgo, it's really just a continuation of everything I just said. However, it's wiping the slate clean. Whenever we're talking about the new moon, it's the lunar cycle beginning again. And in that way, so can we. We get to start anew. We get to set new intentions. We get to plant new seeds. We get to think about new things that we want to be, do, or have, and set those intentions at this particular new moon. So the new moon is happening at 9:39 p.m. on Thursday. That's Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, it's going down at 21 degrees Virgo. Okay. So again, Virgo has everything to do with health. It has everything to do with, analytical things, organization, efficiency, being of service, right? Now, I'm going to go into detail. I actually am dropping a video on this new moon in Virgo tomorrow. So you'll definitely want to subscribe and set notifications so you'll know exactly when that video drops. And I go into everything having to do with this new moon in Virgo. So I'm not going to talk about everything exhaustively here. However, it is important to understand that this new moon, the astrology for this new moon is actually very beautiful, okay? It's going to be filled with a lot of earth energy, okay? And what I love about new moons in earth signs is that it allows you to really ground and really solidify the things that you want to manifest. It allows you to take manifestations and make them real. And, it requires work. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a new moon in Pisces where you're just like, oh, let me create this environment within. No, when you have a new moon in an earth sign, it's like, all right, let me get to work. With Taurus, when you have a new moon in Taurus, it's about laying the foundation. When it's in Virgo, it's about analyzing, organizing, and perhaps perfecting your work. And then when it's in Capricorn, you have the ability to strive for achievement, especially when it comes to the bigger picture of the things that you want to manifest. But we're talking about Virgo here. So this is going to be about perfection, and not perfection in the sense that you need to be perfect or not make mistakes. By perfection, I mean practice. Okay. And I know for some, there's going to be like, ugh. You know how, perfect example, you're in grade school, right? And I don't know what they call it now, but back when I was in grade school, it was your times tables, your multiplication tables. And you would just have to continuously just do multiplication problems. You're perfecting that skill. That's exactly the energy that we have at our disposal with this new moon. You're perfecting things. So it may not be the case where you are manifesting something brand new. Perhaps you are getting better at manifesting something you've already been working on. This is about perfecting things. This is about getting your mind right, number one, and figuring out where you can cut the fat, where you can make things more efficient, where you can work smarter, not harder, right? It's all about putting in that work towards the things that we want to manifest. Now, what I love the most about this particular new moon is that it's going to be trine to Uranus in Taurus. It's also going to be trine to Pluto in Capricorn, and both Uranus and Pluto are retrograde. So this is going to still require a little bit of inner reflection, a little bit of inner work. But not only that, it's like you have the ability to really change things with the presence of this trine to Pluto. So there's this element of transformation with this new moon that's absolutely beautiful, and it's transformation from the inside out. And with Uranus also in trine to this new moon, it's almost like the universe is going to perhaps surprisingly or suddenly sort of move things around for you. It may be a little chaotic, right? Remember I said, whenever you're talking about Uranus, it's all about surprises. It's all about sudden changes. So things may suddenly change. There may be a sudden shakeup, but it's actually going to be in your favor. And again, because all three, well, let me say all four, because the sun and the moon are going to be conjunct in Virgo. All four of these planets are in earth signs. So you're going to see this in real time. You're going to be experiencing this in real time. You're going to be able to see things start to solidify. And again, with Mercury going direct shortly after this new moon, you're going to feel this shift. You're going to feel this forward momentum. You're going to feel things starting to click into place. So this is going to be one of those new moons that you don't want to sit out. Like, again, being that this is going down in Virgo, it's an earth sign, you're going to have to put in some work. Like it's going to require you to take some physical action steps to do some sort of physical perfection, right? Perfecting your craft, perfecting your skills. However, putting in the work is going to pay off, all right? Now, one of the things also about Virgo is that Virgo is very ritualistic because Virgo has everything to do with our daily routines, the things that you do on a daily basis repeatedly. So it's very ritualistic. So this is going to be one of those new moons where you're going to want to engage in some sort of new moon ritual. Now, whatever works for you, right? Whether it's journaling, scripting, whether it's, burning bay leaves, whether it's whatever it is, you're going to want to do it. But guess what? It's not just going to be something that you do on Thursday and you stop. This is going to be something that you may want to introduce into your daily routine, at least for the next 2 weeks, at least until the full moon, right? Now, remember I said before that retrograde season has everything to do with patience. Now, with all 3 planets and earth signs, this is great, right? Because this is giving us the opportunity to solidify things. We're going to see things in real time. Now, the one caveat to all of that is that this is going to take some time to unfold. And if you're not new to the channel, I say this all the time. The seed that you plant today is not the fruit that you eat today. Like it takes time, it takes patience, right? So whatever you're starting to manifest, whatever you're perfecting at this new moon, this is probably going to unfold over the next 6 months, at least until the full moon in Virgo, which we'll experience in Pisces season in, 2024. So it's really about implementing this perfection, perfecting these skills, working on this manifestation as part of your daily routine over an extended period of time. Think of it this way, especially because Virgo rules health. Maybe this is the new moon where you're like, listen, I really need to get my health in order. I really need to lose weight. That takes time. It takes not only time and patience, but it takes eating right. It takes exercising, which you need to do on a regular basis. And by implementing these skills of perhaps counting your calories, counting your macros, taking your blood pressure regularly, weighing yourself regularly, exercising 3 times a week. Maybe you're doing cardio 3 times a week and you're weightlifting 2 times a week. All of that stuff you need to implement into your life on a regular basis, right? And think about if you start doing that now, how are you going to look and feel 6 months from now? Right? You're going to see a remarkable change, God willing, right? But it takes work. It takes dedication, and it takes that daily routine, that daily ritual, if you will, in order to achieve that goal. So that's how we're going to be approaching this energy of the new moon. This isn't some pie in the sky. Things are just going to drop down to us. It's really about putting in that work and making these things a habit, right? Perfecting our skills, doing these things on a daily basis and allowing it to become a part of our daily routine. And in time, we are going to see these manifestations come to fruition in a very real and profound way. Okay. So again, I will be dropping that video on the new moon in Virgo tomorrow. So again, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you definitely don't miss it. All right. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, so then on Friday, we've got Mercury going direct in Virgo, and you'll see that at the larger red circle at the upper right-hand portion of the chart. Mercury will be at, I believe that is 8 degrees of Virgo, okay? We also have the sun trine Uranus. So the sun will be at 22 degrees Virgo. Uranus will be at 22 degrees Taurus. And we have the moon moving into Libra. All right. So let us discuss. So first up, Mercury direct in Virgo. So while Mercury was retrograde, remember I said that it's all about reviewing, reflecting, and reanalyzing certain things. Now, again, Virgo energy, not the sexiest kind of energy. Everything that you do on a daily basis is covered by Virgo energy. So when it came to paperwork, when it came to our job, when it came to our daily responsibilities, we were sort of reflecting on this, figuring out how we could be perhaps more organized, more efficient, how we could work smarter, not harder. Perhaps we were really taking stock of our health, or maybe perhaps our jobs, because Virgo also covers being of service. And Virgo has a lot to do with our daily responsibilities. So that would include your job. So, that being said, hopefully over the last 3 weeks or so, you've had a chance to reminisce on those things, to think about those things, to really get those things in order. And so now with Virgo going direct, we're going to have an ability, or we're going to have opportunities to implement the things that we've been thinking about and that we've been reflecting on. So let's say you have Virgo in your sixth house, right? Which would make you an Aries rising. So Virgo in your sixth house has everything to do with your daily routine and with your health. So maybe over the last couple of weeks, you've been going to the doctor. You've been figuring out, your blood pressure. Maybe you've got, elevated sugar levels, whatever it is. Now that Mercury is going direct, now you can sort of put a plan in place, get your mind right with respect to being healthier, right? Implementing these things that you've been reflecting on with respect to your health, okay? And of course, we're going to feel this very intensely because Mercury is the ruling planet of Virgo. And with Mercury being so close to the earth, we're feeling this shift in energy. So whereas our electronics have been going haywire, lots of traffic, perhaps accidents and delays with transportation, miscommunication, things not making sense, right? Or maybe someone showed interest in something and then they ghosted you, or whatever it is, all of that is going to start to subside. And as Mercury picks up speed, things are going to start to move forward, and they're going to start to move forward relatively quickly because Mercury is a very speedy planet, okay? So Mercury direct in Virgo, there's going to be precision in speech, in thought, and in communication. Virgo, I love to think of Virgo as like a wordsmith. Virgo's vocabulary is very vast. I like that sentence. Try saying that 10 times fast. Virgo's vocabulary is very vast, right? And so now that Mercury is direct, we can express ourselves better. We can analyze things better. We can sort of take stock of things with a clearer mind. Things aren't so cloudy. We're not really thinking about things from the past. We're able to really think to the future and move forward, okay? And of course, Virgo being a perfectionist and detail oriented, this is going to allow you to look at things with precision, be able to see the finer details of things, whether it's written documents, whether it's sort of reading between the lines of what people are saying. There's just this element of precision and analytics that Virgo is so known for. And with Mercury going direct in Virgo, we're going to have that energy at our disposal. So it really behooves you to really take advantage of it, right? Now, here's the thing. The caveat is with Mercury direct in Virgo, it really has you focusing on the details and not the big picture at all. So you may get lost in the sauce of the details. You may be fighting over the littlest comma or the littlest word, or this whatever this person said to you, that littlest detail is what really sticks with you. Meanwhile, you're not seeing the bigger picture. So it's very important that with Mercury direct in Virgo, that although you spend a lot of time on the details and you spend a lot of time on the minutia of life, right? Don't lose sight of the bigger picture. If you find that you're getting lost in the sauce, that is sort of your cue to sort of take a step back, right? You're too close up to the painting. You need to step back so that you can see the entire picture, okay? And again, with Mercury going direct in Virgo, being organized, being efficient, it's a great time for making plans because now there isn't that wonky Mercury retrograde energy. You can express yourself. You can sort of get your thoughts together more effectively and efficiently. So it's a great time to plan. It's a great time to learn new things. It's a great time to analyze certain situations. Again, not very sexy, but very necessary. All right. And before I move on, I just want to shout out the other Virgos in the house. So we have Rose Ellen, right? You've got your birthday on September 16th. Happy early birthday. I love it. I love it. I love it. We also have my friend Linda, who is, your birthday is tomorrow. Happy early birthday. Oh, I love it. Now, I think I've seen this on several different articles, but September is one of the busiest months for birthdays. And it makes sense, right? Because, we're all Christmas babies. People around Christmas time, you're doing a lot of drinking, you need to be warm, hence, whatever. So lots of Virgo birthdays. And I'm not even saying this because I'm a Virgo sun. I'm not even saying this, because I'm biased. But why is it that some of the best people are Virgos? And I'm not even talking about best, like whatever. Like you had Kobe Bryant, you've got Michael Jackson, you've got Beyonce, you've got like everyone who's doing major things in life are Virgos. Like Virgos really run the world. And I'm not saying this because I'm biased. I'm just saying it because it's probably true. But we really do it up. I mean, we are hard as hell on ourselves, super critical, but we do some amazing things. And I mean this with all sincerity and from the bottom of my heart. You need a Virgo in your life. A Virgo will help you get right. A Virgo will support you. Like Virgos really run the world. Okay. So tell your favorite Virgo that you love them. Gift them something because it is their season, and trust and believe. One of my favorite phrases, and it was a Virgo who taught me this, she always said, "You treat me good, I treat you better." That's definitely the Virgo mantra. Okay. So again, get you a Virgo because you will get your life all the way right. All right. And again, to the Virgos that are watching, whether you're on the live or whether you are watching on the replay, happy birthday, happy belated birthday, happy early birthday. I hope that this season, this new revolution around the sun, gives you everything that you dream of. All right. So happy birthday, my Virgos. All right. All right. He said, easy, please. I will not be easy. I love being a Virgo. And if you are a Virgo, you love being a Virgo. That's just how it goes. And Melissa says, oh, my husband is a Virgo. Well, happy birthday to him. Hopefully he is having a wonderful Virgo season as well. All right. So enough of Virgo energy. Let's keep it moving with the astrology. So again, on Friday, we've got the Sun trine Uranus. And I mentioned this briefly before, but this has everything to do with self-expression, surprises, sudden changes, aha moments, intuition. It makes you a lot more open-minded. Okay. Anytime we have the sun in transit to another planet, we're talking about ourselves, we're talking about our ego. But think of what the sun does. The sun shines and it really sheds light on things, right? So it can be very eye-opening, it can be very enlightening. And anytime you have Uranus is not only the planet of surprises and sudden changes, but I also call it the hand of God, right? It's like the universe is sort of just moving things around, and you kind of just have to let go and surrender. So when it comes to the Sun trine Uranus, this is about good surprises. It could be about good news. It could also be about discovering things about yourself, perhaps that you didn't know before, perhaps that you're just newly discovering, but it can be this really enlightening sort of light bulb moment in your life. It could also have a lot to do with feeling confident, feeling self-assured, and sort of things changing quickly, but in a sort of positive way. So whether things are changing like outside of your control, perhaps maybe things in your environment are changing. They could be very positive changes, or it could be one of those situations where it's more like a blessing in disguise, right? Or conversely, it could be a time when you want to implement change, and that change it takes once you do it, right? Like it's implementing change where you start to see immediate results, or things just sort of click into place. Or perhaps the people around you who normally might not be receptive to that change, they would be receptive to it. They'd be open to it, or they'd even be supportive. So this is one of those situations where, as it comes fresh off the heels of that new moon in Virgo, it's one of those times where if you want to implement change, this is the time to do it, especially when it comes to things that are very personal to you. Again, with like that Virgo energy having to do with health, or having to do with just getting your life together, right? Whether it's your finances, whether it's your relationships, whether it's school, whether it's family, whatever it is, you're going to want to implement those changes. You're going to want to set those intentions at the new moon and then start taking those action steps to implement that change. And that change is going to stick. And everyone's going to be supportive. Everyone's going to be on board. Like it's just going to be It's just going to be good. So this is going to be one of those transits where you are going to want to make some changes in your life. Okay. It's also a great time to make new friends, to be social, to reach out and touch someone. It's just a great opportunity to sort of put yourself out there. Now, because we're talking about the sun, I want all of my entrepreneurs and business owners, or even people that have side hustles, I want you to listen very carefully. This is one of those transits where you're going to want to promote yourself. You're going to want to put yourself out there. You're going to want to be vocal. What does the sun do? The sun shines. So this is going to be that time where you want to shine. Advertise, promote yourself, talk about what you do, sell your shit. Like, this is going to be the time where this starts to build momentum. Okay. And again, with Virgo having everything to do with your daily habits, your daily routine. And again, with that new moon in Virgo, you are going to want to implement these things, implement the promotion of yourself as part of your daily routine. And you're going to want to start it now, because it's going to stick. People are going to be receptive to it. The universe is going to start to move things around so that people see you, so that people recognize you, right? So again, if you're an entrepreneur, small business owner, if you have a side hustle of any sort, you're going to want to promote yourself. Trust and believe, okay? And then finally, on Friday, we have the moon is going to be in Libra. Now, because we have the new moon in Virgo, when the moon moves into Libra, it's going to be a waxing. So when the moon is waxing, and I'm sure if you're not new to this channel, you've heard me talk about this ad nauseum, but if you are new, between the new moon and the full moon is what's known as the waxing moon. And this is when you take action steps towards the things that you want to manifest. And when the moon is in Libra, in the waxing phase, it reminds us that no man is an island. Libra has everything to do with relationships and cooperation. So when the moon is in Libra in the waxing phase, this is when you get help from other people. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. This is when you collaborate with people, when you socialize with people, when you get people on your team, where you get people to help you, or maybe where you help other people, right? It's all about collaboration. It's all about being social. It's all about a group effort. So if there's anything that you would like to achieve, anything that you're working toward, when the moon is in Libra, you bring other people on board. So perfect example, let's say, again, you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to get healthy, right? Maybe you want to go vegan during this new moon in Virgo period, right? Maybe you want to get an accountability partner. Maybe you want to get a personal trainer. Maybe you want to really work well with a nutritionist or a dietitian or something like that, right? Like, you want to bring other people on board to help you get from point A to point B. Now, apart from that, when the moon is in Libra, we kind of just like to chill out. We like to hang out with people. We like to socialize. We like to do all of that good stuff, right? So again, with the moon in Libra, you're going to be able to collaborate. You're going to be able to be social, and you're going to be able to have people get on board with whatever changes you are trying to make, right? Because remember, I said this is going to be that week when you want to implement change and people are going to be receptive to it. So if you need a favor, if you need people to help you, if you need money, if you need anything like that, you're going to want to plant those seeds this week, because I feel like people are going to be a lot more receptive to it, or they're just going to want to help or want to see you do good or just want to be in your life, right? That is what's going on with that. All right. So that being said, let's keep it moving. All right. And finally, we get to Sunday. So on Sunday, we close out the week with Venus square Jupiter. All right. So Venus is still in Leo. Has been in Leo for quite some time, although it is no longer retrograde. And you'll see that at the upper right-hand portion of the chart at 15 degrees Leo. And then we have Jupiter at 15 degrees Taurus. Okay. So if you are familiar with if you've downloaded the Astrology Basics cheat sheet, or you've watched any of my other videos, especially the ones where I talk about aspects, you'll know that when two planets are square to each other, they are 90 degrees apart. And squares typically denote tension and frustration. So squares are not always pleasant. However, when we're talking about Venus and Jupiter, they actually are pleasant, because Venus and Jupiter bestow positive energy. So When we have Venus square Jupiter, like all we want to do is have fun. We want to party, we want to socialize, we want to go shopping, we want to do all the shit that let me not say that we're not supposed to do, but things that don't require us to work hard or, take care of our responsibilities. We like to just chill. We like to have fun. It's also this feeling of optimism, of happiness, this happy-go-lucky kind of attitude. So it's great for socializing, but it's really bad for work. And it's a Sunday, so it's definitely one of those Sunday fun day kind of transits, right? But if you actually have work to do, you may find it very difficult. You kind of just want to be out there, you want to be having fun, all of that good stuff, right? Anything that requires serious thought or serious negotiation, you might not want to do on Sunday because again, you're just not going to be in the mood for it. Maybe you just want to go to the barbecue. Maybe you just want to go to the beach. Maybe you just want to go to the brunch with the bottomless mimosas, which we all love so much, right? You're really not trying to do any serious work, and so it's not the day for that. Now, however, one of the things that you're going to want to be cognizant of is that too much of a good thing can be a good thing. All right. Those bottomless mimosas, those first two are great. When you get to like the eighth one, you're probably either going to get into a fight, pass out, or get kicked out, right? Too much of a good thing, not a good thing. So beware of overspending, beware of overindulging, beware of just doing the most, right? When you feel happy, when you're in a good mood, sometimes you kind of take it overboard, right? And once you take it overboard, you can't really take it back. So be mindful of just doing the most, being excessive, overindulging. You're going to want to rein it in a little bit. Moderation is key. Like you may have gotten some extra money. Don't blow it all on shopping or whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to tell you what to do with your money. I'm definitely not pocket watching. However, this is one of those transits where you would definitely be inclined to be like, oh, let's say you went to the casino, right? Because Venus is in Leo and it's direct in Leo right now. Great for gambling, great for lottery, all that stuff. So maybe you went to the casino and maybe you got like $2,000 or whatever. And you just want to blow it. Maybe you go to a nice dinner. Maybe you go buy a bag or something. And then all of a sudden, no more $2,000, right? Avoid overspending, avoid excess, avoid just doing the most. But most importantly, this is one of those situations where you can just enjoy yourself. So again, Sunday fun day, have some fun, try not to do too much serious work. And not only is that a great day and energy to end the week, but also great energy to start the next week, all right? And that's pretty much what we've got going on for this week, all right? So, of course, I will be pulling some cards for messages from Spirit, right? I do it by sign, but if you are not new to the channel, you will know that whatever message resonates with you resonates. Doesn't matter whether it's your sun, your moon, your rising, your Jupiter, your north node. If the message is for you, it is for you, all right? So, of course, we will start off with Aries. Let's see what we have for Aries for this week. Aries, I get the sense that you are really like fired up about something. Yeah, we've got the Queen of Swords. So you are definitely like this fog, perhaps, that you've been feeling for the last couple of weeks or experiencing for the last couple of weeks is starting to dissipate. And you've come to a point where you've made a definite decision. And not only have you made a definite decision, like you are ready to defend that decision to the death. Like you are telling people what to do, where to go, what you want, what you don't want. And your mind is so clear and it's so sharp that whatever decision you make, it's like you're acting on it almost instantaneously. Now, the one thing that I will say is that mind how you speak to people. You guys already know you guys could be extremely reckless, right? And I don't say that to be mean. I'm just saying it because that's the energy that Mars, your ruling planet, exudes, right? But there's something about this decision that you're making could be to the detriment of someone else. Like perhaps like the example I'm getting is perhaps you've been juggling two people, right? You've been like dating two people. And now your mind is clear. You're like, yeah, I definitely want this person, not that person. And so the person that you no longer want to date, be mindful of how you let them down. Be mindful of how you speak to them because you kind of have this attitude like, I don't want you anymore. Like you have this, you could have the situation could really be hurtful to the other person. It's like your tongue is like this sword and you're kind of like just cutting someone off. It's not to say that you have to sugarcoat shit, right? But just be mindful of how you speak. Because in your mind, you're clear, you're decisive, you're fired up, you're like, I definitely don't want this. But just if you have to let someone down, if you have to disappoint someone, try to do it in a somewhat tender way and not with like a sword for a tongue. All right. Just word to the wise. All right. That was Aries. So now we've got Taurus. Let's see what we have for Taurus for this week. There we go. All right, Taurus. You've got the Three of Wands. So Taurus, there's this energy of waiting and expectation. I'm hearing that you guys understand the assignment, meaning that you understand that, you put forth energy and then you co-create with the universe and allow the universe to sort of put the pieces together. And so you're in this waiting period. It's almost like you've done your work, you've done your homework, and you're just waiting for everything to sort of come together, for the big picture to start to form and materialize. And Spirit is like, wait in joyful expectation, meaning don't stand here and say, it's not here. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Why is this taking so long? Oh my gosh, I'm so impatient. Oh my gosh, I don't have it yet. Spirit's like, please don't do that. Wait in joyful expectation. Know that you already have this thing. Know that it's already materializing and it just has to sort of come together in your 3D reality. And go about your business. Like, don't sit here waiting. You see, he's like waiting on this cliff for this ship to come in. You already know the ship is coming in. So you don't have to be apprehensive. You don't have to try to control the situation. Just let it go, let God, and just let it be. And just enjoy your life. Go do something else and let it pleasantly surprise you. Let whatever this is find you in a pleasant and surprising way. You won't be disappointed. Okay? All right. So now we've got Gemini. Let's see what we have for Gemini for this week. All right, Gemini, we've got the Knight of Wands. Where are you going? Like, you are going someplace really fast, but very recklessly. Gemini, you are like, when they brand animals with those hot iron things and the animal just jumps. I think they restrain them so the animal doesn't run away, but it's almost like someone has like branded you and you're just like running for the hills. So I don't know if someone has upset you or someone has said something to you that really like has you fired up, but I see you like charging forward very impulsively. Be mindful of your anger. I feel like some of you, your anger could get the better of you and it can cause you to not only do things impulsively and rashly, but perhaps even get into some sort of accident. So if you get some startling news, some surprising news, or if someone like tells you something that angers you, like that incenses you, like in the flash of a second, like try to calm down before you take any sort of action. Definitely before you like get behind the wheel or do anything like that, because I'm seeing the propensity. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but like the propensity for an accident or something like that. Just calm down, count to 10 before you take any sort of action. But something has you really fired up. For some, I'm hearing this isn't like necessarily like an anger thing. For some, like you're just really fired up. You're really passionate about something, like perhaps even a project that you want to start. Like you're like, oh my gosh, this is great. Let's start it now. Keep in mind that we're still in retrograde season. So you're going to want to not be too impulsive. You're going to want to take your time and move forward a little more slowly than you would like to, because this impulsivity may have you missing steps or messing things up. So even if you're angry or you're not, you're just excited, like move, like think, relax, do all of that before you take any action moving forward. Okay. So that was Gemini. So now we have Cancer. Let's see what we have for Cancer for this week. All right, Cancer. We've got the Six of Cups. As I was shuffling for you, I heard like your head is in the clouds. Some of you are really thinking about the past this week. It could be a past relationship. It could just be like you miss how things used to be. Things used to be simpler. They used to be a lot less complicated. They used to be a lot less busy. And you kind of just want to go back to that. You're in a very reminiscent kind of energy this week. Perhaps you have a very busy week and you're just like, damn, I just wish I could go back to the summer where things weren't so busy. Or perhaps you're at a period or a season in life where things just are remarkably different than it was in the past. I'm hearing for some, you're in a season where you're being pushed out of your comfort zone and you sort of are reminiscing about the past comforts of life, perhaps childhood when you didn't have to pay bills, or perhaps some other part of your life where things were just easier. But I feel like this is a week where you're reminiscing, and reminiscing is good, right? Because again, we're still in retrograde season. However, it's not necessarily advisable to live in the past, especially if you're in a season of life where you're being pushed out of your comfort zone. That is to propel you forward. And as much as you may not want to be propelled forward, that's ultimately where you want to go. It's like if you're driving down the highway, you can't be driving forward and only looking in your rearview mirror, right? You got to look ahead. You got to look at the windshield, right? And so I understand you're longing for easier times. I understand you're longing for when things were a little simpler. However, trust and believe that you're being directed in the right direction. So again, nothing's wrong with reminiscing about the past, but just make sure that you don't live there, especially in your mind or in your emotions. It's all about forward momentum. You can reminisce about the past, you can maybe even lament about the past, but make sure that you don't live there. Okay? All right. Next up, we've got Leo. Let's see what we have for Leo. All right, Leo, we've got the Justice card, and this is fitting because you guys have Venus currently in your sign, and Venus rules Libra, which is the Justice card. So when it comes to relationships, you guys are very much focused on reciprocity this week. I'm hearing like someone's like, well, I'm not going to do this unless he does that. And yes, it's a female that's saying this. I'm not going to do this unless he does that. I'm not going to give him husband privileges if he's not willing to be my husband. Okay, someone's feeling a little salty, whatever. But yeah, there's this reciprocity in relationships that you guys are very much focused on. Some of you are realizing that it's no fun at the top by yourself. So you guys love attention. You guys love to be the star of the show. But I get the sense that you're willing to share that spotlight with someone right now. And you want someone who's on your same level. You want someone who you can share the spotlight with. You want another leading actor to be in this show called Life with you, right? And so some of you are looking for your counterpart. Some of you are looking for I'm hearing soulmate. I don't know, take it if it resonates for you, but you're looking for someone who's your equal, someone who is on the same wavelength as you, so you can share the spotlight with them, but you want reciprocity. Some of you are not willing to date under, right? Some of you are just like, yeah, unless this person does this, looks like this, has this, I'm not willing to, accept that. But understand that reciprocity goes both ways. So whatever you're looking for, you should hopefully embody within yourself. Okay. And I think that that's going to be the key to finding the type of relationship that you ultimately want. Because again, you're willing to share the spotlight, but this person has to be on your wavelength. So I feel like that's where your focus is this week. All right. So next up, we've got Virgo, the best sign in the world. I know I'm biased. All right. So Virgo for this week, let's see what you've got going on. Speaking of spotlight, Virgo, some of you really want to be seen this week. Okay. All right, we've got the Ace of Swords. So you guys are also very decisive about something too, but you guys are very much in the space of understanding what it is that you don't want and what it is that you're willing to cut out of your life, and willing to be vocal about that too. So I get the sense that many of you are like cutting the fat, trimming the fat, getting rid of a lot of what no longer serves you, and you're willing to be very vocal about it. And again, I'm hearing the same message that I heard for Aries. Like, be mindful of how you speak to people, because even though in your mind you're like, oh, I don't need this person, maybe saying that to them is not the best advice. Maybe you don't want to just cut people off at the knees, right? But, you know, Virgo has a tendency of being very supportive, of really being there for people, of making sure that the show runs smoothly behind the scenes, right? And I get the sense that at least this week, a lot of you are just not with the shits. Like, you really just don't feel like doing that. You want to tell people where they can go, where they can't go, what the fuck you not gonna do. Like, I hear you guys being very vocal about this, right? And I like that for you, because, you know, sometimes, and I can attest to this as a Virgo sun, sometimes we just give too much. Sometimes we're too supportive. Sometimes we're all, it's almost like, you know, like Leo is the star of the show, and we're like the supporting actress. And I feel like this week, a lot of y'all don't want to be the supporting actors or actresses anymore. I feel like you want to be the star of the show, and you just want to tell people, listen, I'm not supporting you this week. I'm not doing this for you. Like, I need you to be there for me. Or maybe you need to do this for me. But whatever it is, I see you guys being very vocal and very decisive. So good for you, Virgo. You deserve it. All right. Next up, we've got Libra. Let's see what we've got for Libra for this week. All right, Libra. I'm hearing Libra. You guys are very chatty this week. Ugh. And we've got the Knight of Wands. Libra, you guys are very like your fellow air sign Gemini. I see you guys are very excited about something, but for you guys, this looks like anger. You guys are ready to really beat someone over the head with your words this week. You want to be careful, right? Because impulsivity and recklessness may not be the best move, okay? But I see you being very incensed about something, very excited, but more so in an angry kind of way, okay? Um, yeah, I feel like your message is short, sweet, and to the point. Like, be mindful of what you say, because I feel like you are ready to pop off at a moment's notice. I feel like your mouth may get you in trouble this week. So again, especially if it's like a work situation or it's a school situation, it's like, yeah, don't talk to your teacher real reckless. That's the person that grades your papers. You may not want to tell your boss to go fuck themselves, because you may not have a job, right? Like, use your discernment. I'm not saying that you need to clam up and not say anything, but understand that certain words and certain conversations may have consequences. So keep that in mind. But yeah, whatever it is, you know what? I'm seeing something like heartburn. Like, you've got something that you got to get off your chest. Something is really irritating you, and it's really time for you to speak up and be chatty about it. And with Mercury going direct this week, I feel like whatever you voice your opinion about, you may see it change very quickly. Like, let's say you've been putting up with some bullshit for a while, right? I feel like if you finally get that off your chest, and again, you're going to want to be mindful of how you get it off your chest. But if you get it off your chest, I feel like you're going to start to see improvement relatively quickly. Whereas if this were like 2-3 weeks ago, you may say something and it might have gotten ignored, or it might have gotten swept under the rug. I feel like you're going to see change this week, and change in a very rapid fire sort of way. But again, be mindful of how you talk to people, because you may want the change, but make sure that the change isn't termination. Make sure it's not going to HR. Make sure it's not going to the principal's office. You get me? All right. All right. Next up, we've got Scorpio. Let's see what we have for Scorpio for this week. All right, Scorpio, you guys have two. Oh, why is everyone getting this card this week? I guess a lot of people are feeling fiery this week. And the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, Scorpio, this is cute energy. Like, some of you are really fired up about a Queen of Pentacles. It may be a Virgo. It could be another earth sign like Taurus or Capricorn, but you guys are feeling very fiery and perhaps very lusty after a Virgo. Again, please do not be reckless or creepy. I see some of you just really like, words are very important. And some of you, like, please don't say anything like inappropriate. I told you before that Virgos are wordsmiths. Like, the English language, grammar, we have a very strong hold on that. And not only that, we are extremely critical. So if you come at us with this kind of energy, and look at what he's holding in his hand, right? This could be very lewd, very lascivious, very like, like unsolicited dick pic kind of energy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she's not going to like that very much. She's very demure. She's very, it has to be a mental challenge. Don't come like a caveman ready to club her over the head. Be mindful of what you say. I feel like this is a message for everyone this week. Be mindful of how you say things, what you say, because words matter, especially to this type of person. Even if it's not a Virgo, this is someone who's practical, someone who's down to earth, someone who's actions definitely speak louder than words, but not this kind of action. This shit is too reckless. Like, you need to slow down a bit. You need to collect yourself. You need to come a little classier. I'm not saying that you're not classy, Scorpio. I'm just saying approach this person with class. Okay? It'll get you a lot further than this. All right? Hopefully that message found the right person. All right. That was Scorpio. So now we have Sagittarius. Let's see what we have for Sagittarius for this week. All right, Sag. We've got the 7 of Wands. So you guys are feeling fired up too, but you guys are feeling very defensive. There's something about this week that makes you feel like you have to defend your position, that you have to... Okay. So I feel like over the last couple of weeks, you've been trying to get something done and it's just been very slow. I feel like it is one of those situations where you've been trying, you've been turning your wheels, and it just things haven't been moving forward. And perhaps you've been met with resistance, right? This is a card of defensiveness. You see, he's fighting off all of those other sticks. So maybe you've had a lot of naysayers. Maybe you've had a lot of people putting in their 2 cents with respect to whatever it is you're doing. And because things have been slowed down and you haven't been able to see much progress, you're getting very antsy, and it's almost like your anger is starting to build up. And Spirit wants you to know that things are about to turn a corner. So although you feel like you've been fighting and you've been really met with resistance, like, things are going to start to turn around, okay? You don't have to fight so hard. All of these naysayers, all of these people with their opinions, it doesn't matter. I feel like at the end of the day, people are mostly going to be on board with whatever it is that you're trying to do, or people are just going to be cooperative. I think it's just been the energy that's had people sort of stuck in their ways, or not paying attention, or just not really interested in what you're doing or what you have to say. But again, I feel like that energy is about to turn around. So try not to make any impulsive or rash decisions right now. Like, again, I feel like the general message for everyone this week is to mind how you say things. And so for you, this isn't the time to pick fights with people. This isn't the time to tell people how you think about them, because they're not supporting you, and they're going to end up supporting you anyway. If you feel the need to say something, don't just clam up. Like, you can definitely speak your piece, but pick your battles wisely. Some battles they're not worth the fight, because eventually there's going to be peace anyway. All right. So mind how you say things, pick your battles wisely, and understand that things are going to turn a corner soon. So things are going to be moving forward sooner than you think. All right. That was Sagittarius. Now we are up to Capricorn. Let's see what we got going on for Capricorn for this week. Capricorn. We've got the 5 of Swords. So there is this element of defeat. It may be you that feels defeated, or maybe you are leaving someone feeling defeated. I feel like this is a situation where there isn't like, it's not a everyone wins. I feel like someone has to lose, and losing may not be an actual loss. I just feel like someone may be disappointed this week. But I also feel like that's not trying to be you. I feel like you're like, yeah, I'm not going to be the one who's disappointed. And again, I feel like, this general message for everyone, it's mind how you say things. Like, I don't know if you could tell, but this person over here, they're crying. This person over here, their back is turned. Like, I feel like if you have to let someone down, like, let them down easy. Try not to just cut someone off at the knees, right? And also, don't be a sore loser. I'm hearing that there's going to be a situation where you win out something. Like maybe you bid on something and you're the winner, or you get recognized, something like that. Like, don't gloat. Don't put it in people's faces, because I feel like the people around you are feeling hella sensitive. Like, people can really be affected by not just what you say, but how you say it. So don't be a sore winner. Don't gloat, don't brag, perhaps, but I get the sense that you may be in a winning position this week. All right. So again, mind how you say things, because I feel like the people around you may be extra sensitive this week. Okay. Next up, we've got Aquarius. Let's see what we've got for Aquarius for this week. I can't make this up. Like, everyone seems to be getting this card. Aquarius, I feel like okay, so Aquarius, this is a little different than everyone else's. Aquarius, you seem to be sort of running away from something. Perhaps it's something that makes you feel very strongly. It could be a situation that you know is going to end in an argument, or that things are going to be heated. I see you just getting out of Dodge and just avoiding it altogether. And I'm hearing that is pretty good advice for this week, because again, something about this situation or this person, whoever comes to mind or whatever comes to mind when you hear this message, that definitely is meant for you, right? You know that it's not going to end well. You know that it's going to end in an argument, or things are going to get escalated. So don't even bother. You also have to pick your battles wisely, right? Like, this isn't a situation where you should be fighting for no reason, because I feel like things could escalate very quickly. So your message is to perhaps walk away. For some, this could be run in the opposite direction. If you start to notice this person starting to get antsy, starting to speak up, maybe it's your cue to walk the other way. And if things do escalate, walk away. This isn't a situation where you want to go toe to toe with somebody. This isn't a situation where you necessarily want to fight with somebody. I feel like this is a week where you need to prioritize your peace of mind and your peace in general. So whatever disturbs your peace, just go in a different direction. Okay. And last but certainly not least, we've got Pisces. So let's see what we've got for Pisces for this week. All right, Pisces, we've got the Hermit. So some of you are in hermit mode this week. I feel like some of you are just going to be to yourselves. You're going to be quiet. This is the card of Virgo. So perhaps there's something significant going on with a Virgo in your life this week. Otherwise, I just see it being a very quiet week for you, a week of solitude. You know, with this new moon in Virgo, you may really want to take the time for quiet reflection and just quiet time to get your mind in order. It's really time to withdraw for you. It's time for you to stop being out there, to stop micromanaging everything, and to sort of just enter the cave, enjoy your solitude and get your mind right. So this may be a week where if you have like a lot of commitments, you may want to scale those back. If you've got like people are calling you to go out, to go here, to go there, maybe you want to politely decline. You may just want to spend some time in solitude. There's a lot of enlightenment that can be gained if you will just quiet down and look within. So Pisces, this is going to be one of those weeks where you just want to power down, spend some alone time, and get your life in order. And you're going to want to definitely plant the seeds for that at this new moon in Virgo. All right, my loves. So that concludes this edition of the weekly Astro Forecast. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information that you can use going into this new week. All right. For all of the information on my products and services, all of that is in the description box below. Again, it's my birthday week. So if you want to bless your girl with something nice, the information for that and the links for that will also be in the description box below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have an amazing week, and I will see you guys in my next video. All right.